Hello, this is Marek Sadowski. This is lab2 solution video. In this video, we will work with IBM Kitura and we will consume API exposed in mobile application. We will create a mobile application and we will connect mobile application to IBM Kitura. In lab2, we will build the new application. So we will start with the single view project. We will add the name Hacker News Natural Language Understanding and click Next. Then we will select the directory and we are ready with our project files. Now we can launch the project to see if everything works. And after getting our simulator starting, we can start to work on files. So first step is to remove the default view controller, and we will add the table view controller. In addition to that, we will add a new file that is UI table view controller for our project. And we are okay to start defining the file. So we'll find the table view controller properties and we will add the table view controller over there. The next step is to change the custom style to write detail. It creates prototype cell title and detail. So now we can also change the size of the cells, and let's put the identifier cell, and let's change the detail size to 12, and we can add lines 0, so if there are more lines they will be just added there. We can now remove the default view controller Swift, and we can add we can use our table view controller. So now we are adding also a new file. It's our news articles.swift. We can copy over the details of the file from the document. And now we are adding the additional variables. So local news articles, and the next step is to modify the file. So we are going to return just one section. It's flat type of the table, and we will return number of the cells or rows according to the function. So let's add the function here. So we will calculate the number of rows. So override function table view, and we can just copy over the contents of the previous file. So over here we are using the previously set identifier cell, and now we can say how we are going to present our format. So now the cell text is going to be news article ID. And the label, it's going to be a title of the document. So we are just adding these two features. We can also change the color of the background. So let's say gray, light gray would be for the articles that we have already seen if we come up with this functionality in the future. So with this and small correction on the override, we can just add one more final test function, get news articles. So we'll get the array with just one test article, and we will just add this one article there, and we can log how many articles we got. Okay, and with that we can just return this function. So we've retested now. Just adding the final step. So getting the articles, and we should get everything now. So let's run it. Now we have our one test article there. So the next step would be to get information about how get the data from the server. So first of all, let's add an additional library. We will use Cocoapods for that. So we move to our directory, and in terminal we will, if you don't have it, you can install Cocoapods. When it's done, we can init pods, so it will create the default file, pod file. So let's edit the pod file, and let's add the library I want to use. So pod swifty JSON, that library that manages Swift the JSON documents. So after closing the Xcode, we can run a workspace, and since we are using pods, you are obliged to do so. So so now we are able to import our Swifty JSON. So just make sure you can build this. Yes, if it's buildable, that means our library is included. So now this next step is to expand our test articles. So now we are going to use you will use the connection to our server. So for test purposes, we just created one, and now we are going to use the web service. Over here, we are going to add our Hacker News link to our server. So we have our server Hacker News multilateral pinwidth name, and now we can comment these test files, add the task that is going to fetch the documents from server, and with that we are ready to launch, and we are getting our documents, 445 documents, and that concludes our lab number 2.